excited. We had carrot cake now, and then we had the apple, pineapple, mango crumble.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this is wonderful. What are we doing here?
Right. First of all, we sieve the flour, like so, because you want to get the air into it. Because this is obviously, because it's vegan, there's no egg or milk, no dairy in it. So you've got to get as much air into it to make it as light and fluffy as possible.
Absolutely, that's important.
All right, you do like that. I'll leave that there. Then you add the sugar, nice brown sugar, good brown sugar. Stir that in. And bicarbonate soda.
Now, would you sift some of these or not normally?
Yeah,
sift the flour.
Really, this is the flour that you need to. The others you just need to mix them in. To be honest. Baking powder.
Good.
So it makes it rise nicely.
Yeah, that's important. You need that. That is important.
And the cinnamon. Gives it a nice flavour.
Oh yeah, to me a carrot cake has to have the spice.
Yes. Now this we're making as a cake, but you can use it to make cupcakes as well, because I made it for cupcakes when I went to the Holloway Church recently, which is in North London.
Okay.
They loved it.
Did they?
Yes.
Aww. And
I only made, I think, a dozen. It wasn't enough. They were like, where did they go? Where did they go? And a little bit of salt.
I think most people like desserts, and if it's good and it tastes good, even though it's vegan, you can make it light and tasty.
But when you make them into cupcakes, they look nice and visual, and you put it on a nice cake stand or into a nice cupcake box and so forth. So you mix that like that, then you mix in the
Now we're using fresh carrots.
Oh yes,
yeah,
fresh carrots.
That make a big difference.
Yes, definitely.
So you just throw them in raw.
Yeah, and you keep going till they coated.
Yes. I like carrot cake.
I do. I love it.
Do you?
Yes. And then I'm teaching myself how to make a nice vegan frosting to go on the top as well. That isn't too fattening, because some of them, they're nice, but they're a bit fattening. So I'm trying to find a recipe. That will be my next book.
Yeah. Well, we'll be anxious about that new book coming out. Yeah. And then we add the liquid.
Yep. We add the canola oil. Like so.
And then the orange juice too.
Yep. You would add the raisins, but we don't have any raisins left. Raisins are optional.
So the cake that's the final product has the raisins in it.
Yes, yes.
Let me add this in here too.
Yep, thank you.
And that's just straight orange juice, right?
And you don't, and you don't taste the orange, but it helps bring out the flavours.
Now that's interesting, because I would think you would taste the orange.
You don't.
Wow.
You don't. I don't think so anyway.
Okay, okay.
It's nice.
Nice.
Yep.
And then we got our pan sprayed here. So you just put it in a regular loaf pan?
Yeah, that will do.
What temperature you bake it at?
We are baking at 350 degrees.
350. That's our magic number today.
Sorry.
And how long does it bake for?
It bakes for...
Obviously till the toothpick in the middle
45 minutes. You have to be careful with this one because it can be a bit wet in the middle when you make it. So you flatten it out a bit like that.
So you want to use a toothpick or something to make sure it's actually cooked in the middle. Yeah,
you test it, because you can look at it and you think, oh, it's done. And then you put the toothpick in the middle and it's still wet. So you can turn it down, the temperature down a little bit if you want to.
And cook it a little longer.
And cook it a little longer. But once the toothpick's out in the middle, you're fine. You're good to go.
And we have one all done. I see the one that's finished. Oh, it looks good. That one has the raisins in it.
Yes, that one does.
Nice.